My name is Gordon Korman, I'm 44 years old, and I've been writing for 32 years. My first book was my 7th grade English project. In my school, get this, the track and field coach had to teach English because they ran out of English teachers. They had extra coaches. We got him. And he'd never taught English in his life, so when it came to writing, he just said, work on whatever you want for the rest of the year. I wrote my first book. That book turned out to be This Can't Be Happening at MacDonald Hall, which was published by Scholastic in 1978 when I was a freshman in high school. I didn't even know any publishing companies, and I think that's why I ended up with Scholastic, because at the time I was the class monitor for Scholastic book orders. So I'm thinking, I'm practically an employee of these guys already. And I mailed my manuscript to the address on the book order forms. I didn't hear anything back for about 4 months, which is not bad for publishing, but in 7th grade time, I'd written it off after the first couple weeks. And then I got this letter. It was pretty mellow. It was kind of, yeah, we got your book. We might even maybe possibly one day consider publishing it, if you're lucky. I later found out that this is what is known in the book business as an extremely enthusiastic response. And a few days after my 13th birthday, I signed a contract for This Can't Be Happening at MacDonald Hall. It's kind of weird because I grew up writing for kids. I wrote the first book for school. I wrote the second one just to prove the first one wasn't a fluke, to prove I could do it again. And then it became my hobby. So it sort of went from project to hobby to summer job to real job. And in college, when it was time for me to sort of really pick what I wanted to do for a living, it was a no-brainer because I already was a writer. I think there's something special about the books that you read at that middle grade age group, because it's really when you become kind of in charge of your own opinion, little kids' books, yeah, but you love the books that, your mom or your teacher read really, really well. I love The Great Brain, and Henry Reed's Big Show and The Mad Scientist Club. Just to give you a sense of my age, I believe that I was in 4th grade when Tales of a 4th Grade Nothing first came out. So I'm like a real middle grade guy. Swindle fits perfectly into the kind of writing that I've been doing for all these years. I mean, my #1 theme coming back again and again is kids taking matters into their own hands. Picture this. A kid finds a 1920 Babe Ruth baseball card. So he takes it to a collector to see if it's worth anything. And the guy totally rips him off. I mean, he lies, says it's worthless, buys it cheap. Turns out this thing is worth, get this, $974,000. Well, if you think about what the collector did, it's awful, it's unethical, it's sleazy, but unless you can prove he lied, it's not against the law. The only way to get this card back is to steal it back. The best thing about my job, I get paid for making stuff up, something that I always did for free. And I'm constantly coming up with new stuff to write about. I mean, the ideas are out there. My job as a writer is just to find the good ones.